Hating my husband. Episode 7. Writer, Faisal Butt. I began to cry bitterly in front of him, but he coldly said, "You are educated. Read these papers and sign them." With that, he left the room. I didn't know that once a woman falls from a man's heart, no matter how much she begs for forgiveness, she never regains her respect. Or perhaps a man can endure everything, but he can never tolerate another man in his wife's life. Holding the papers in my hands, I kept sobbing uncontrollably. I didn't have the courage to read them. I had already made up my mind that at night, I would fall at Ghulam Muhammad's feet and beg for his forgiveness. But divorce? Never. That night, when my husband entered the room, I fell at his feet, pleading for mercy. He grabbed me by both arms, pulled me up, and said, "If you had read the papers, you would never have cried like this because they are not divorce papers." Then he handed me the documents and left the room. I wiped my tears and read the papers. They were property documents, the land where he plowed the fields. He was transferring all his share of the land to my name. I looked at him in shock. Why was he giving everything to me? I asked, "Ghulam, why are you transferring all this to my name?" He replied, "You are my wife." Then he added, "I am going to the city tomorrow. I will return in a few days." Despite my protests, he made me sign the papers. The next day, he left for the city. For 4 days, I waited impatiently for his return. But when he finally came back, he returned as a lifeless body. His dead body was brought back to the village. The house was filled with mourning cries. My entire world shattered. A city friend of his brought his corpse home. His friend revealed that 2 months ago, Ghulam Muhammad had learned that he had cancer and wouldn't live much longer. For the past 6 months, he had been under some kind of spiritual affliction, which ultimately claimed his life. I kept losing consciousness from the shock. 2 days later, when I regained a bit of composure, my mother-in-law handed me a letter. "Zara, this letter is from Ghulam Muhammad. His friend gave it to me and said it was for you." Hearing this, I felt another jolt of pain. To be continued.